I'm live. I'm live. It's connecting. So maybe today we're going to finish on our series on managing relationships today. We're going to finish series on managing relationships so that we can start with that concept in a short time. This is for our leadership series. So we need to know that relationships are key. They're very, very key and pivotal for everything that you become. A relationship becomes much more important, even as God has created us and we have needs. Some of our needs are hidden in relationships, and we must understand that it helps us a whole lot better. So that's just it. And we've talked about a lot of things just in these few moments. We've spoken about few things. Spoken about few things. We've spoken about few things that from the first series to the second and to the third. Right? We've spoken about few things, and I'm trusting God to help us with wisdom and managing this end. I need us to understand that very intentionally. And so today we're going to be looking at the other means to managing, detailed means to managing relationships. Please, after this class, I would love to get a feedback in the comment section and on the platform. So today we're going to be talking about communication. One of the major problems, thank you Rejoice for connecting, thank you. One of the major problem of relationships I've seen over time is both this cuts across secular and in our normal relationship. Secular and what did I say? Secular. This cuts across romantic and normal relationships with people, and so it becomes very important that so it will be back to back. This network is bad. So today we're going to be talking about. Sorry for the network glitches. I'll try to make it a whole lot better. I'm going to be talking about. But the first I'm going to be on my list, added to the other ones I've said before now, is communication. Right? One of the ways to keep relationship is to communicate. It's very important. Pass beyond talking. It's beyond talking. Many of you is to talk. You can talk. You can talk, but you don't know how to communicate. Communication is key, and it's key between you and the individual involved. Communication is key. It's very key. So I needed to understand that, and not just communication, effective communication. One of the reasons why communication becomes key is that as you proceed with your relationship, you'll be having crises, you'll be having some issues here and there. So because these are two individuals involved, so anytime there are two individuals involved, just understand that there will be issue, there will be hiccups here and there. Surely there will be that kind of regard. So it becomes very much important that you understand that the place of effective communication for for cases of misplaced priority, for cases of conflict, for cases of issues here and there, you must understand that it's very important. And it is known that poor communication have ended a lot of relationships because I did not understand that was what you meant. So sometimes you just need to communicate. If you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. You just need to communicate. It's very important. Okay, you are wronged, please about it. I'm a pastor, and so many times members are wronged. They feel that they're not happy. They feel one of the things I've noticed about many of these people is that at the end of the day, they don't talk about it. You just discover the next day they are flying from church, only to go to the next place to discover that the same issue they are running away from is the same issue they are facing at that immediate point. At that same location where they felt that it will not be placed. Wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered, there will always be offenses, and it is wisdom on how you manage the offenses. It becomes very much more wisdom how you manage the offenses, and you need to understand that very intently. So as you clamor to have a good relationship with people, whether it's romantic, whether it is people, but we're talking about people as a leader, you must understand the concept of communication. And the communication is not just communicate, it has to be effective communication. Like every detail has to be effectively communicated. That makes a whole lot of sense. A lot of relationships are built, out of, what's it called again? Assumption. I feel you know. I feel you understand. But many of times it is not always in that regard. So it becomes much more important that communication. You know what is communication now? Two people, trying to talk about an issue. Two people trying to, manage the issue by talking about it, trying to exchange places where there is a little misunderstanding, trying to pass on words, to pass information detailedly. Sometimes it's not just in issues, sometimes it's just in the ways that you behave and do your things. You don't really, sometimes, just like you're having a roommate and you are going out, you're not informing your roommates that you're going out, and you expect your roommate to know that you're supposed to go to places like this and all of that. Even in marriages and relationships, because it's much more of a problem. So communication is very important. So as much as you desire to, even in leadership, you have to communicate. You have to communicate your values, communicate what you're not comfortable with. As if someone who is on that training, there is no need of you trying to, if you are pained or offended, or communicate even how you feel. Communicate, talk about it, learn how to talk, and effectively talk. Somebody can speak for 30 minutes. One problem with communication is that a lot of people talk, but they are not saying anything. You can see one person come and speak English. If your communication has to be considered, it has to be in clear terms. Some of you are too ambiguous. When you want to communicate, your communication is not straightforward. You make your communication simple, so anybody who hears can understand. It's that simple. There are preachers, even preachers who preach, and people don't understand what they are saying because of plenty grammar. You want to be approved by people. If you must communicate, you have to do it in such a way that everybody is going to understand, or people will have to understand. I don't know if I'm understanding. You're asking, you're getting what I'm saying. But most important thing about communication is that skill of listening. I understand the place of communication, but many times, many of the individuals who are in this kind of relationship have a problem with listening. That's the problem. A lot becomes more listen. You understand me? So communication is two-way. One person is talking, one person listens. Are you get what I'm saying? That's another concept of understanding. Are you get what I'm trying to say? There's another concept of understanding. And maybe we should just dwell on this communication part. There's the concept of listening. There's the concept of understanding. Let me go a little to understanding before I come back to listening. Now, somebody can be saying something and you're not understanding what he's saying. That's why I said somebody can talk, but he's not communicating. And sometimes somebody can say something, but you are not understanding it because of the way it is communicated. Now, for instance, I gave an instance on the platform where I said, how did I give an instance? Let me just look at it again. I gave an instance. In fact, I had to intentionally put it out this evening so that everyone will have to, give their own opinion around it, right? I said something. I said, Dr. Michael is here. And there's a Dr. Michael is here. Are you get what I'm saying? These two things are two different ways, two different understanding. Now, one is trying to say that Michael is here. One is trying to say that Dr. Michael is here. It's two different things, but the way of communication, the way you communicate it depends on how. Okay, imagine that you are saying Dr. Michael is here and you intended to say Dr. Michael is here. Are you seeing that there is a gap in what you want to communicate? So many times what is communicated is not properly communicated and it is not understood. And this drives around conflicts. Are you get what I'm saying? It drives conflicts and it helps relationship die. You cannot manage people if sincerely you are not effectively communicating. Are you get what I'm saying? Even as a pastor, you have to communicate. People have to understand the vision. In this side of the divide. In this side of the divide, I find it very, very difficult, sincerely speaking, because people barely understand what we say. It's a problem. People barely understand what we say. I don't know if somebody following what I'm saying. So there's a concept of listening. Some persons don't listen. That's why they don't understand. You understand? Some persons they don't listen. That's why they don't understand. So this too is very important. As a part of this that has to involve what's it called? Listening. As a part of this that have to deal with understanding. Then there's the last part I'm going to talk about is feedbacks. Many people find it very difficult on this end. Very few do that. You see, sometimes when you are done communicating, you need the feedback to be sure that people understood what you said. This is very important. A lot of people miss it at this point. This is where we find it difficult. And that's why most times when we are younger, you're in secondary school or you're in primary school, as your teacher teaches, at the end of the day, he will ask you questions after the class to be sure that you understood what he or she had communicated in the space of time he was supposed to teach. This is the problem. Many people since finish fiam. You now felt this assumption thing makes relationship difficult. You assume that the person understood it. You assume the person is, no, you don't need to argue. You ask for a feedback. It is in asking for the feedback that you get to understand if this person heavily understood or properly understood what was communicated. This is where many people find it very, 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 wrong at such. So I would want us to understand these things I've said. First, I talked about communication as A, B, C part of this communication. The A part of it is listening, the B part of it is understanding, and the C part of it is feedbacks. Please don't misplace this. These things will help you avoid assumption. Assumption is very, very deadly. It can help you, it can kill, it can suffocate your relationships, and that's why it becomes very pivotal that these things are playing, right? I'm going to ask you questions at the end of the day to be sure you understood what I said, because you are going to communicate everything you learned on the platform. So as much as I'm saying it, everybody should pay deep attention to what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we'll have to a way of doing that, right? So these are the things that we must understand. I've said that. Having said that, we need to continue, right? I've said the first. Once I say the second one, we'll close for today. So we'll continue. I think there are a lot of them to talk about, but we're still on the basis of communication, right? We're still having to deal with communication. We're having to deal with just communication, right? And then I think the second part I'm going to say is that thing about, I don't know if I should talk about it first or I should just hold on around it. I don't know how to go about it. Should I hold on around this? Okay. I think I've talked about this earlier before now about adding value. Every relationship must strive on value, right? So if you're not adding value, you are killing the relationship, because if I get to a point where we're in a relationship and not relationship of romantic stuff, so we are in, maybe I'm a leader, and there is no place where value is being added on different ends, it becomes much of a problem. Because why am I overseeing? Why am I with this person? Why? What value? What benefit? People get to a point where they start reviewing what relationship, what gains and profits certain relationship are beginning to yield. Just at a point, even if it doesn't happen every year, most persons sit down and count the cost and say, what have you added to my life? What have you? So you must understand that every relationship that must strive. If not, everybody starts drifting apart. It will just be like you know yourselves, but there is no relationship attached. So you must be intentional about what value you are bringing to people. Now, people are willing to stay in a relationship that that value is being added. If I'm in a relationship where I'm not getting value, I barely would even stay in the relationship. So it becomes much more very important that I add value as much as I expect the other to add value. So relationship work in two ways. There is the first person, there is the second person. If the two are adding value to themselves continually, you will see that the relationship is easier to maintain. For instance, now, all that you come to do is to take from me. Every day you come to my house, take garri, eat soup, eat rice, eat and go. Do you know, after a while I will start complaining? My complaints will be on the basis that you only come to take. What am I benefiting? Now I can only add the food for a while, but I cannot continually do that. I cannot continually on to not making, acting as if I do not, relationship doesn't, the relationship will continue. There has to be a point where people are beginning to add value. People are beginning to add value. I don't know if somebody said, if there is no point in this. One person is shouldering all the value. One day the person gets tired, the relationships are dying. That's why I said relationship is two-way. You must be valuable. That if you notice any relationship where the value keeps, I have a friend of mine, we are not so close, but we get close at certain end. Now this is not about what he wants or him being, but there is one of the things that we've done over the years, and I've kept this relationship. A young man kept this relationship for over 5-6 years. What happened, or what is the basis of this relationship, is that there are certain things that I do for him and there are certain things that he does for me. In fact, when I do this for him, I do this, he does this for me, I know what I'm supposed to do for him. So it makes it easier. It makes the relationship mutual. If the value is one side, it becomes a problem. And please don't stay in a relationship where there is no value being added to you. You are the only one they are giving you. They are the only one. You are the only one giving. They are always taking from you. You at a point you will start asking questions, and you will lose interest and have regrets in keeping that relationship. So relationship are two-sided. There has to be mutualism around it, and I think it has to be very intentional in that regard. So please look for a good value, look for value that you add in a certain relationship. Every relationship that there is no value, one day everybody gets tired. So never be in a relationship where no value is added to you. You are wasting your time. You could get someone who could add much value to you, because you can't be with somebody for 3 4 5 years and you cannot really pinpoint what you got from them. This is what I benefited from this person, this is what I benefited. There are friends that you can mention and say, this is what I got from them, even though they are very far and you are not in touch. That's how relationships should be. That for 3 4 years you cannot really say what the only thing they do is to come around. But coming around is the value, companionship, or keeping you busy or keeping you company. It's still a value, but please make sure you're adding good value, so that when you are remembered, you could be remembered with. There is a friend of mine when I was in school. Anytime we remember him, we say, that guy that used to always beg, he always comes to take. He never had thought one day to give. These things are very, very important. Very, 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 very important. And then I think this is the last one I'm going to say today, and I'll begin to close. Now, there is a point of honesty. I've spoken about that, but I think I'm going to always let me talk about that, and I'll talk about two more quickly, and I close. The place of honesty. Listen, every relationship thrives on honesty. Are you get what I'm saying? There are people who have value around them. What's it called again? Value around honesty. People like me, I value people being sincere and real to me. I don't like people hiding things and all of that. If there are things that are not right with you, talk about it. Don't always put me in the dark. Now, this honesty cuts across, opening up for me. Are you guys what I'm saying? Certain things in their own way, in their own arrangement, so you must really be open and sincere for people like me. I love sincere relationships, I really love when people are sincere and honest. There is no need of lying about something, especially when they catch you doing something. You are trying to, play smart around it. I don't like that, and I think many other persons would not love people who are not honest. So it becomes very important that honesty is key and primary to keeping every relationship. Then I'm going to talk about the third one, and that third one is always staying in touch. It keeps the relationship a whole lot. Always staying in touch. There are a lot of you people that, many of you that are always faulted at this regard. Listen, there is one thing I will usually do when I was younger. One of the things we do when I was younger. Every new month, MTN used to give us that time where MTN is then, I don't know how it is at this point, but then MTN used to give, what's that again, free SMS every month. One of the ways we stay in touch with people, even though you don't have what we call it credit, you don't have airtime to call, you use that SMS in your favor. All your friends, you send them free SMS. Like they will give you like 20 or 30. I don't know how they hardly do it now, but then they can give 20. They can, if you buy a new SIM, they can even give you 100. I don't know how it was then for you. So we use it to keep touch with people. Even if I'm able to talk with you today or tomorrow or 1 week or 2 weeks, at the end of the month or at the beginning of a new month, we're able to keep touch. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. You must know how to service. Every relationship that is not serviced will rust. Every relationship that is not serviced, it will get rusty. And that's why it becomes more important that you always stay in touch. Are you get what I'm saying? Everybody's busy. Yeah, everybody's busy. There are lots of people, my friends, have not been able to talk, and they understand that everybody's busy. But no, it shouldn't have to be to a point where it's as if you barely don't even have time for anybody. It's not right. It's just not right. It's just not right. At least once in a while, once in a month, I just give you an instance of what we usually do. You understand me? An SMS could do. Thank God for WhatsApp. You could drop a WhatsApp message. How are you doing? And there's even a way you can drop it across board. And they don't even know that, oh, you did copy and paste for everybody. You must learn to stay in touch, sincerely and genuinely. Some of you only remember people when you have money issues. You start calling. If I'm the person involved, literally not give you that attention. You only, there are some persons that they never have to reach out to you until there is a problem, and that is not good. Don't do that when you want to, keep relationship. Amazing one. Some of you have good relationships in your life. Even as you are asking you to do this, do that, do that, there are people you could call to this, whatever it is. But then the problem is that you don't keep good relationships. You don't keep in touch with people. You only call when you need money. There's a way to water. If you don't water is a plant or a seed, it will not germinate. That's how relationship is. You want to reap from where you do not sow. You can't even call, even WhatsApp message, how are you doing, this and that and that and that. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Wisdom is important in managing relationship. You'll always learn how to keep in touch, learn how to stay true. Once in a while, make it a point of contact. Just put a call across. How are you doing? There are a lot of people in my life, they'll just come and ask me for money, and I sincerely know that I will never have to give them, because you only would appear when you need help, and some of them will appear the next time only when they need help. As you help them in that previous one, they will never have to appear until they need help. Normalize checking on people. It's very important. Normalize checking on people. It is wisdom. Normalize checking on people. Normalize checking on people. Make it part of you. Make it part of your lifestyle. Normalize checking on people. It's going to help you a whole lot. Right? Am I making sense to someone? Am I preaching good? Am I teaching good? Normalize checking on people. It becomes very important that we make that your lifestyle. Right? So please, always learn to stay in touch. Always learn to stay in touch. Always learn to stay in touch. And I think this is the last one I'm going to say, and I close. Please, whenever you have issues in your relationship, don't run away. Learn to sit down, acknowledge the conflict, and find possible solutions around it. Many people run away from trouble whenever they sense it. You're having an issue with someone, you just ghost them. You just disappear. We don't see you again. We don't know where you are. You hide yourself. You block everybody. You do this one. There are many of you that are too childish. You don't know how to relate. You just, everything that happened, you will go to your status and write plenty messages. Oh, people are fake. This is no. As far as people are involved, people, one or two persons are involved, there will always be conflict. I need you to understand and acknowledge that very much importantly. Whenever you have issues with people, don't run away. Sit down. You are a mature person. How will mature people be having issues and be running away? No, you don't do that. You sit down and resolve them. That's what makes you mature. You have an issue with somebody, you go on WhatsApp or Facebook to talk about it. It doesn't show that you are mature. It shows how much of a child that you are. And you get what I'm saying? It shows how much of a child that you are. You wouldn't have to be doing that all your life. If not, you will lose all the good relationship you have. You lose. I'm telling you. There are many of you that cannot sit down now and discuss real relationship issues. You fly. You run away. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away. How long will you keep doing that? How long? I want to ask you, how long will you keep doing that? So it is very important that you acknowledge every conflict. You sit back and manage it. Talk about it. I have an issue as this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, I'm offended from this other end. You need to communicate it. That's why I said earlier, you need to communicate it. Don't always carry hurt and bitterness. There are a lot of people carrying hurt and bitterness. Small thing, pepper body, small thing, you're angry. So, no, calm down. There are wisdom to manage it. If I'm the one involved in this regard, I run away. You cannot keep running away from trouble, right? If you run away from your trouble, when you come back, the trouble is still there. It's not being solved. It is there. So it is wisdom when you have issue with people. If it is people like me, I would not like to harbor things in mind with people for people. If I have an issue with you, I'll call you. And that's one of the reasons why I don't encourage gossip. You understand me? Because many people resort to gossip when they have conflict with another. A good relationship that have been so much of value to you, you resolve to gossip to have, at the end of the day, you now know all of it is misunderstood. By then you have already said bad things about someone. If you have issue with someone, right, call them. I'm offended from point A, B, C, D. Discuss it. Stop running away. Acknowledge you have a conflict. Discuss it. Stop ghosting. Stop going to WhatsApp to write us messages. It does not help. It doesn't help in any way. It is just showing how childish many of us are. You have an issue, you run away from it. No, it doesn't show how much maturity you've grown. You see, it is when it is time to manage relationship that you know how mature people are. For now, many persons are not mature. They are not mature at all. You just see it from the stances of everything around them. They are not mature in any regard. So it is very important that when you have issue with people, this will help you from gossiping. It will help you from, no, please sit down, sit back, discuss it. Call the person involved. Can we talk about this? I'm not happy about this. I'm offended the way it happened. And sometimes what you call a problem may be a misunderstanding. It's not entirely the way it is. What you call a problem might be a misunderstanding. And it becomes very important that misunderstanding, if it's a misunderstanding, you see it from, you cannot be complete in your knowledge. Sometimes what you feel that it you actually right at the end of the day, if you scan it very well, we'll see that you are even the problem. Many persons who say, I'm not the problem. I need to tell you this. I need to. At the end of the day, you sit down and analyze the problem. They are the problem. And that's where these things becomes much more primary to talk about. And that's why many issues are run dry. Good relationships, so all of a sudden, this is your amazing friend over the years, just for a little issue. You cannot have patience to say, let's discuss it, let's talk about it. Fiam! You've run away. Most of you, very children, social media child, you go and talk about it on social media. All these relationship that you see, they are, some of these people are not good people. If you take a look at it, close look at it, you are the problem. And it makes, when you are a leader, you should be able to accommodate excesses. Not little thing, you fly. Keep running. Where have you got into now? I came back after 3 months or 4 months of coming back. The place is looking rusty. I told you that any relationship you don't service will look rusty. You run away after you have come back. The problem is still there. You have lost a good person. You've lost amazing people in your life just because of foolishness. Very soon you will lose all the people in your life. Very soon you will lose all the good people in your life. You cannot keep doing this. You have to get to a point to stop. Advise yourself. Speak to yourself that, guy, I cannot be crossing these lines. When I have an issue with people, I sit down and I discuss it. If they are not comfortable for us to talk about it immediately because of too much emotions, we talk about it later. Tell the person that I'm not ending this relationship. When you are ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it. But for now, I feel you are offended. Oh, don't worry, it's fine, it's okay. We will talk about it later. But run away from it. Please don't do that. Don't get used to doing that. It shows less of maturity. It shows how much deluded you are. It shows how much value you put on the relationship. If you have a good relationship in your life, you have issue, run away. No. If you are tired, you go and rest. But we'll continue later. You see this relationship, we'll keep it. If you are tired, I tell my friends, I say, if you are tired, go and rest. When you are ready, we'll talk about it. The relationship keep moving. If you keep running away from this, if you keep running away because somebody offended you, you will meet somebody tomorrow that will offend you more. Because as far as human beings are concerned, you will keep finding, even as a pastor, even as a husband and wife, they always have relationship. Husband and wife have relationship. Hope you know that. So you don't think that it's only you, your own is having a relationship. If you always have conflict in that relationship, it's a proof that somebody is a child. Any relationship that is always constant conflict, somebody is a child there. Somebody needs to grow up. One person is tolerating it, and the relationship is not mutual because it's killing the relationship. You must learn to accommodate people's excesses. Yes, you must intentionally learn to accommodate people's excesses. You must learn. It's very important. Accommodate them. And when you have problem, you communicate it. Stop running away. All the relationship you wasted, how far? Don't lose good people because of one small trouble, one issue that can be talked about. Many of you have lost people that would have, helped your life in many ways. Many of you have lost good relationships, very good ones. So because of time, I may have to start wrapping up. And I'm going to give an assignment to everyone who is connected, right? So please just go to the platform and write me. Okay, let me make it much easier for us tonight. Write me just 7 things that you learned from today's class. 7 things you learned from today's class. That's how we're going to do it today. I spoke about a lot of things, so some of you have to watch this video later to do that, to do your own class, to do your own review. Tomorrow around 11, I should be a class by 11, since we said we are going to do it online, because tomorrow, we'll have involvements tomorrow, so we'll continue some other time. Tomorrow by 11 p.m. We'll continue tomorrow 11 p.m. and then continuously like that to ask me. So I answer it here because I will not have time to be on the group, on the platform, answering questions in that regard. Any question, if you have any question, just write me a message. Write me a message now. If you have any question, write me a message. Write me a message so that I can. I'm sure you guys understood all that I said today. Hope all of you following understood what I said. So if you have a question, please write me a message. 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 Is there any question? Okay. Since there are no questions, maybe I may just have to end the class and I get my feedback and review from all of you. Is that okay? God bless your heart and have a beautiful night. Okay, is that a question? Is that a question? We cannot be complete in a relationship. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I don't know if that's a question, but if that's a sentence, it's quite complete. Is that taken? That's beautiful. So we just have to end the class now since there are no questions. And if you have questions, you can always DM me around it. As much as I have time, I'll answer them. So have a blessed evening. God bless your heart. See you tomorrow, same time.